and maybe we'll get going. Gerri, are you comfortable starting now?
Sure.
All right. So, welcome, Gerri. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited to hear your story and sharing about the report and all the important things that come with it. I'll let you introduce yourself, but thank you for joining us today.
Hi, everybody. So glad to be here. My name is Gerri. I'm from Peguis First Nation. I'm a mother and a wife. I'm a mother to 4 children, and a wife, and a cat mom to 2 cats. um, yeah, I always go blank in the beginning. um, I just wanted, it's an honor to be here to share the knowledge of beading with everybody. I think it's always important to pass on what knowledge that I have to others. My teaching began in 2013, I think, or 2014. No. Well, after my sister passed, when she was taken in 2013, um, I was involved with medicine there at Gannigan, Egypt, and the facilitator at the time, she asked if I wanted to do any beading sessions with families, and so we developed a Thursday night beading group at Gannigan, Egypt, and families of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls would get together. We would feast and we would bead together. But prior to that, my sister and I, we started to bead right after our sister's funeral in July of 2013, because she was taken in April, and we had about April, May, June. We had 3 months before they brought her back to Winnipeg, just because they had to do their investigating and stuff like that. So we didn't get her remains until 2 months later. So me and my sister, we would get together and make just prepare for her funeral, and we did collages with all her photos. She was she loved glitter and glitz, and so we would doll up every photo with glitter and stickers and jewels. So we made 3 collages for her, so that we were coming together every day to do that. And so when the time came for her, when she came home, we had the funeral, and we kind of just like, well, what are we gonna do now? So she was going to purchase a pair of earrings off a family member, and I'm like, hey, I used to bead when I was 14, and I hadn't bead since like for 10, 12, 15 years. I don't know the time, but I said, well, why don't we just get me the supplies and I'll make you the earrings. So she's like, oh, okay. So we went like crazy shopping for beads, and then we went home, and it's like a memory. You never, like, when you ride a bike, you never lose to ride a bike. So I just picked up those beads and started beading like it was like I never stopped beading, right? So yeah, and then that's how we just we started beading. And my sister Jennifer, she would make dream catcher ornaments. So we thought, hey, let's recreate her ornaments, and just see how that goes. So we did the top part of her ornaments, which I should have brought. I mean, it's in the kitchen. Maybe I'll show later, but we recreated her dream catcher, and then we put Christmas balls attached to the top. So That's been a hit every year, and we make them. It's like a summer thing because we make hundreds of them, and every Christmas we do craft sales and stuff like that. And just because she made them, it's like everyone who has her ornaments to us is like you have a piece of our sister. It's she was very creative, and yeah, so I just wanted to share that part about my sister, how creative she was, and how I used my beading um, as I use beading as my healing. Um, just and I know when you bead, you have to have good thoughts, um, and you put that love in it. And when you're having a bad day and you bead, it's like your thread will get tangled, or the beads will stick up, or something, or a bead will break. Yeah, you do notice if you're having a good day and a bad day. And sometimes I'll just like, okay, pack everything up. I'll do it, a week or whatever, how long it takes. And yeah, so, um, and the red dress, when the red dress became, um, popular symbol for, a sacred symbol for MMIWG, um, like so many people make it, and everyone who makes it, it doesn't matter who you're honoring. And um, I think that's really special that people continue to do that and just keep our loved ones in everyone's hearts and keep them close. Um, yeah, so um, we, for the National Inquiry, my family, we submitted our truth. Um, we went live because we wanted people to hear our story. I mean, my family's been impacted since 1980, when we first experienced our first tragic loss of my auntie Jen when she was taken from us in 1980. She was actually taken in front of me and my sister Jennifer. Um, she was murdered in front of us when we were, I must have been about 7 years old, and my sister Jennifer probably she was a couple years older, so maybe 8, no, about 9 or 10. Um, yeah, so that's a memory that sticks with me forever. To this day, I can still remember everything that happened. To be that young to experience such a tragic, horrifying experience, um, it it never really affected me because I was young. Um, and when I experienced the tragic death of my sister in 2013, um, I still feel maybe I'm not accepting, but accepting, if that makes sense. Um, because my sister, she lived on Hanson Island in BC. She was caretaking there. Um, and it's like I feel like she's still there. And it kind of helps me just to get by. Like I know she's gone, but it's not. Her spirit is there. She loved it there. It was a beautiful island. She was the only one that was on the island, and but that's where the man she was with took her life there. So um, before she left for BC, she had um, She attended Gannigan, Egypt, just before she left to Hansen Island in 2006, I believe. She took a course at Gannigan, Egypt, a microcomputer program, and then she finished that program, and then Gannigan, Egypt hired her. So she worked there for a while before she met the man that would take her life. Um, and they met, and um, she moved in with him into his house, um, and then she was with him for a while, and not very long. Like, we were very shocked that she was going to move away with him to BC, but Jen was Jen, and she did what she wanted to do. So they just packed up and left, and um, so she just lived there for about 6 years, I guess, I think. And that's when he took her life. Um, and after we found out that she was murdered, he was arrested, and then I guess he had confessed that he had murdered another woman um, just before meeting my sister. And he had actually taken her life in the house that he moved my sister in. Um, so I feel like my sister was just a loving person, and I feel like, I mean, it's tragic what happened, and I feel like it's like my sister's life had to be taken in order for another woman who was a cold case, so the other family can finally have closure and peace, but it took my sister's life to, for the other woman to, for her family to find justice. And um, yeah, he did go to court, and he did get life for my sister. Um, and then after the trial was over for my sister, they brought him back to Winnipeg for the trial of Myrna Latondre. And he also, I believe, got life for that, but they were concurrent. So, he was doing life for 2 lives. Like, it doesn't make sense. But and he did, unfortunately, he found a way to commit suicide when he was incarcerated. So he's not here as well. And I feel anger because, why don't you just take your life before taking two precious of our woman with him. So, um, so we shared our story with um, Myrna's family together. We shared together because we have a connection. Um, yeah, so we did our sharing of our truth together with the National Inquiry. Um, and we also shared the loss of our auntie. So our two families combined, we spoke our truth and honored my auntie Jennifer, my sister Jennifer, and Myrna at the same time. So the calls to justice are very important for families. To establish that national action plan so they can be implemented, not to sit on the shelves. And I just thought, I was asked to do a workshop to do beaded red breast pins prior to this one. So it's my second one. And yeah, it's getting easier, and to share my truth to people for awareness. I always share um, my truth to whoever asks or whoever wants to hear it. And it's important too, as well, for everyone. Anyone can go onto the National Inquiry website and listen to families' truths as well. I think that's really important. I always encourage that. Um, and read the report. And today I thought maybe, we can just read, each of one of us can read whatever, how many they want to share while we're beating the red dress pins. And yeah, and then we can speak about it. I'm not an expert, I'm just a family member. I don't have the smarts where I can, say this, say that, but I read it and I share it, and I learn as I go, just like everybody. We just share together. So, if anybody has questions, you can ask, or we can begin the red dress pins now. It's up to you guys.
Thanks, Gerri. Yeah, if anybody has questions or comments, I was I was just thinking while you were speaking that I think what you did by sharing your story and your truth is so important, and I think that it's through hearing the stories that you share and kind of honoring those memories that was the driving force behind the report that came out and the calls to action or calls for justice. And it's sad that it's come to this point and that we require the report, but it's because of really brave people like you and um, your decision to honor your sister in this way that a lot of important things are starting to happen now and have happened, like this report. So I want to say thank you, for being so brave and having that courage. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah. I just wanted to share another happy thought just to kind of lighten up. But my sister, my daughter is, I think, about 4.5 months pregnant. So I'll be a first time grandma. And yeah, it's just, woo, my heart. I will finally be a grandma. I never thought I would, because yeah, I just like she never thought she would want to have a child, but she just decided, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do this. She did it. Yeah, so that's really a good thing that's coming in July. So yeah, it's I guess a new life is always something to celebrate and just be excited about.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I just wanted to after I talk about like my aunt and my sister, I just like to do a quick smudge, um, just for it's just heavy sometimes, and it just helps. So I'm just gonna light for everybody, and I'll just let it sit here, and then we can start um, our red dress pins. We have till 4, so we kind of have a lot of time together, which is good.
Yes, if anybody else has a smudge, feel free to light it. I know when I sit and I do crafts or when I'm beading, I like to have the smell of the smudge. It just clear the air and
yeah, it's always good to have.
yeah.
But I'm gonna put this here. So this is going for all of us right now. And so everybody has their kits.
I'll change the view here to, if everyone wants to go onto the top right where it says view on your screen, because right now I think Gerri is the main screen. If you click gallery view, then we can see each other's faces while we bead.
Okay, so we're going to take our little templates. This template, I used this template. I traveled with the National Inquiry teaching fully beaded red dress pins. If there are beaders that are joining today, you can actually do the whole thing beaded, but just to simplify it for people who doesn't bead, I did just the tiny little red flower. I mean the little flowers. So this one has medicine inside it. If you have medicine available, before we're doing the edging and closing up, I always like to throw it in there and then sew it all up, and then it smells really good. So you can do that as well. But we're going to take a pen and your template, and then you're just going to trace it on one of the felts that I gave you. So we'll just trace the red dress. Don't cut it yet. We'll cut it after we put the flowers on. So if everybody can just do that, and then let me know when you're all at that spot to continue.
So I think this is the sharing part. So if you'd like to unmute yourself, I think we're gonna act like we're all in the room together having a beading circle. So
yeah,
feel free to share and ask questions and make comments. Yeah, one thing that I miss, with the whole COVID and everything, is doing these like craft circles. When I was in university, we used to do beading groups, and we'd come together and we'd sit around a table and we'd all work on our different crafts, and everybody was working on different things. So it was interesting to just sit and visit.
I know I miss the interaction, and I miss the closeness, and it's just a different feeling. Like it's just quiet, and you would hear the murmur of everyone talking, and yeah, it's something that's really missed by everybody.
What works best? What works best for tracing the dress?
I just use the pen.
A pen?
Yeah, don't use it like a marker, because then a marker will be too thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
A pen that works.
Yeah.
Gerri, I already cut mine out.
Oh. Who cut it out?
Me.
Cut it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
So did I.
Cutting them out while you were talking.
Okay, well that's fine. I mean, that's fine. You can still you'll still be able to add your flowers. So that's fine. If you cut it, that's fine. But
Okay.
don't cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Okay, yeah. So I think I made not a mistake, but I like to bead with size 10 beading needles, and the head is so tiny. I'm so sorry. I should have got the next size. So my last class, there was quite a few people that, we stayed about 10-15 minutes before they could thread their needle. But I hope you can all thread it.
Challenge.
That's the trickiest part.
Yeah, I saw someone said can't thread the needle. I think that was D.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you already?
Oh.
Oh no. Okay, so I'm gonna thread mine. I'm just gonna show a little trick.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So I gave you guys a thread. Don't use all of it because it's a long piece. You don't need much for the flowers. You'll need a longer piece for the edging. So when you're doing the flowers, just like an arm's length, and then then save the other a longer piece for the edging. So when I thread my needle, I wet the thread.
Yep.
And I wet the needle, like the head part.
Mm.
And then, so it's wet on my finger, it's wet there. And then I pinch the needle. I mean, the thread is like really pinched in my finger. And then I'm gonna take my needle and then I just push it through. Like if you don't go like this, because you won't, can you see it? If you go like, like this, you have to kind of like pinch the thread right in between your fingers and then line it up with the hole, and then you're going to push it through.
Okay.
I remembered I had some wax
Yeah.
from another project.
Oh,
I went and got that to wax the end.
Yeah.
Darn.
And then when you do get it through, don't pull the thread all the way. You're going to leave a little tail
Okay.
like
That's
that,
okay.
and then you're going to thread the other end.
What?
You're not going to put them together. You're going to just leave a little tail.
so it's like a single, you're threading onto a single thread instead of
Yeah.
doubling.
Just for the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough bonded thread, so it's not going to break,
Mm-hmm.
So once you get it through, leave your little tail, and then tie a knot at the bottom.
Of the little tail?
Of the longer tail.
Of the longer tail.
So keep the little tail and then tie a knot at the other end.
Okay. Oh, I just get nervous doing this.
Take your time. We got lots of time.
So would you say about a foot of thread, Gerri? Or a little bit more?
Well,
Okay, you got it that much. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's just for flowers. And then the longer, you want a longer piece for the edging, like, because you're going to edge all over. So you'll need a longer piece for that. So who'll be putting medicine in theirs?
I will be.
I want to, yeah.
I'll wait for it to, I have to get to it though.
Oh, yeah. When
But
that'll
I
be
want to.
later on.
Yeah.
In a couple hours now.
Likely for me.
Oh well.
Maybe for those that are with us who didn't receive their kits, I know there's one person that messaged me, so I don't know how many of you might not have received your kit, but if you would still like to sit in on a session, we are going to be meeting again on the 26th, and you are still able to register without reserving a kit, so that when you do receive your kit, you can sit with us again on the 26th, and we can go through and make our pins together. So I can share that link to register again, but just, if that's what you wanted to do, that's available. And then also today's session will be recorded. So if you get your kit in the mail, say tomorrow, then you can check out our website. I'll share that link as well, and you can kind of rewatch and follow along again. So.
Okay, so if everybody's ready, has their dress. Okay, so you're going to take your, I sent out blue, pink, purple beads. You're gonna start with your little colored beads. The green are for the leaves. And then you're going to, hold on one second. Okay, so you're just gonna pick where you want your first flower. So I put my needle in the middle of it, the bottom right here.
Is that just one piece of material, Gerri?
Yeah, This one, yeah, the other one is going to be for the backing. So this will be traced later with the dress.
Could you show us the finished product so we have a sense of what it is? Oh, thank you.
And then the pin at the back.
No.
And what did you say you would use to stuff it with?
I put medicine in mine. I put cedar, sage, tobacco, sweetgrass, some lavender buds, whatever you like, whatever you have at home. So once you pick your spot where you want your bead, just pull your thread all the way through, and then you're gonna pick up one bead of the colors that you have.
The red beads?
No, the colored ones.
The pink or the green?
Yeah.
The green is
Well,
for
yeah, the green is gonna be for the leaves.
I got blue for my flower.
I think some people got different colors,
Yeah,
but everybody
I-
should have gotten pink, or everyone should have gotten green beads, and then the other colors for the flower.
Yeah, and then the red is for the edging. And this one I made yellow.
Oh.
Okay, so you have your okay, so the thread that you have up, you can go back down, don't go directly inside the hole that you came up, just go a little bit to the side of it. So you want that colored bead to stand up nicely.
So we bring it all the way to the bottom of the thread, right? To the
Yeah.
claw.
And then you're going to put your needle down beside where you came up
Okay.
with the other needle, and then your little colored bead should be sitting nice, like
Standing.
that.
Right. Oh, I'm a beater. Really humor. Oh.
Can you just repeat the instructions for the first?
Yeah. So you're going to put your thread up to where you want to start your flower, like in the middle here.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna take a colored bead.
Yeah.
And then you're going to put your thread. You're gonna come back down where you came up, just a little bit to. Don't go directly in the same hole as the thread, but a little bit to the side of it, because you want the bead to sit nicely.
Okay.
And then once you have the bead nicely, you're gonna come up beside that bead a little bit, because you want to have room for the beads to, I don't know if you can see, but you don't want to go like, you just want to come up beside it,
Okay.
but not right up against it. And then you'll just bring up your thread, and then you're going to pick up 7 of the same color bead that you have, the colored beads. You'll pick up 7. 6. And then you just kind of hold your work, and you're going to go down that same hole that you came up. This time you're going to go down that same hole.
Wow.
And with your thumb, you're going to hold those beads so they're all around that middle hole, like that.
Oh boy.
Cute.
I didn't do that.
Okay, what did you do?
Well, this is what, oh boy. I've got like a little pedal not the right thing, right?
Yeah, you want a little petal. That's
Oh,
what we
okay.
want.
Okay.
So now when you have your beads wrapped around the middle one, I want you to come up in between two of those beads. You can come up in between the two beads like this. Oh. Like that, you see?
Okay.
And then you're gonna pull your thread up, and then you're gonna tack down on the other side where you came up. You're gonna tack down on the other side, and you're gonna pull it down, and then it'll tack down that bead.
Oh, I see. So are we making other petals? I just want to make sure I'm on the right track here.
Yeah, we're gonna make 3 of them. There's 3 on here. So
Oh, no,
right
no,
now
no,
we're-
no. Okay, I did the wrong thing. So all of the little beads go around that first bead.
Yes, the 7 beads will go around the middle bead there.
Okay.
Yeah, the green petals will do after.
So I shared a file in the chat. It's just the up close picture of the pin. So if you want to open that, that might help.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So after you tack down that one, you're gonna do the same thing with the next bead. You're gonna go in between the bead as close as you can, and then you're gonna go on the opposite side.
Okay, can you take us through the instructions again, like how to tack down? Like once you have the 7 around?
Yeah. So you're going to go in between the
Couple of the other ones?
so you're gonna put your needle in between the 2 beads,
Mm-hmm. Okay. And tack
and
it.
then you're gonna go on the opposite side to tack it down.
Okay,
Kind of like
there it comes.
Okay.
You're essentially making another stitch to keep the thread attached to the felt.
and then it goes in between and it tacks it down like that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So then you're gonna come up again here, you're gonna come up here, and then you're gonna tack down on the other side. Come
Another
up
one.
here,
Do it
tack
twice?
down on the other side.
Do it twice, like each side.
Yeah, in
Well, you're
between
gonna
each
tack,
bead.
yeah, you're gonna tack down in between each bead. Here,
Oh,
here, and yeah.
So you're
How about-
tacking down the thread in between the beads
Yes.
each bead.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
rather than coming back up through the beads again. You're tacking down the thread in between the beads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're tacking down like the bridge in between. Yeah.
Ouch.
I've got to take all of mine apart.
When I was a kid and I would sit with my mom, she'd try so hard to teach me how to bead, and I can't even count the amount of times I had to unstitch and
I have a
undo and redo and undo and redo. But
Yeah. It's trial and error. I mean, just the more you do it, the better you get.
Mhm.
And it's the feel and the way you hold your beads as well. Once you get comfortable of holding it like this, or people, there's so many ways how people bead that you can't say it's only one way, because everyone has their own way, their own technique, and yeah, it's just amazing. So whatever you
I
find comfortable and works for you, then yeah, just
Mhm.
keep on doing that. So we have our first little flower. How is everybody doing?
Gotta remember to breathe.
Oh yeah, breathe.
Breathe.
Important. Otherwise we'll be all
That's so true.
Hold your
It's
breath.
like you do hold your breath.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with mine. Mine is stuck.
Oh, no.
Geez.
Yeah, right now I'm suffering from a frozen shoulder here. So if you ever hear me like screech out loud, you'll know why. Because I moved it.
That hurts.
It does hurt. I've probably been like this almost
I'm
for
so
2 months now.
Oh,
And it's strange because my sister has one too, but like mine's on my left, hers is on her right. I can't believe it. It's like, how are we having a frozen shoulder at the same time?
No
But she
kidding,
had
right?
hers longer than me, so I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It just all of a sudden one day I just couldn't, like, it was hurting to move and I can't put my bra on anymore.
oh.
I have to have it. It has to be attached, and I have to pull it up like I pull up my pants.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wow.
Hard to even wear a bra now with the COVID.
I know.
True.
Yeah, we don't need those anymore.
Yeah,
Right
Mom.
now.
They say if we would have never started, we would have had better muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Paulette, how are you doing?
Nice.
I'm gonna start now
Okay.
because I don't know my thread. Whatever. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Mhm.
Okay,
Um,
I think I got it.
I'm gonna
Look at
share a link with you guys. It's for our
Oh yeah, la
feedback
yellow looks
survey.
good.
So
Mine
after
is
each
blue.
event, oh nice. After each event, we like to get a bit of feedback. And today, to kind of entice you guys, I guess, we're gonna do a draw as well. And we have a couple of these really beautiful red dress earrings. Gerri, those, I don't know if you guys can
Nice.
see. Very beautiful. And
You were beat by Gerri.
yeah, beaded by Gerri.
Right. Oh wow.
If you want to take just a moment after today's session to fill out our feedback survey, there's a little spot in there for you to leave your email address. And then we'll do maybe a Facebook Live, and we'll do a draw for the names afterwards in like a day or so.
This is so nice.
Get those surveys in. You get red dress earrings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to say my name's Annette here, and I just want to say, Gerri, thank you for sharing your story there. And my sister Joan Jack was one of the ones that rode the medicine wheel there. All the women that rode
Right.
the bikes. Was it last summer or the summer before now? eh?
Yeah, probably the
For
summer
the-
before.
Yeah, for the murdered and missing. So they sure supported you guys too that way. It was
Yeah.
phenomenal, eh?
Yeah. All right. Is anyone on Deadly Cookums?
Well, yeah, I was gonna. Are you there? I was gonna make
Yeah.
a plug for that. So that's
Yes.
I'm Joan's her little sister.
Okay.
So
I
there following
actually,
and learning.
yeah, I drew the logo for the Deadly.
Oh, okay. Right
Yeah. So
on.
I mean, if we all came, we were all like, what should it be? So we put all like our thoughts into it, and there's the kukum was actually I drew this kukum all my life. And when they were talking about, oh wait, well, we want a kukum, and we want a little child looking up at their kukum, and we want the moon on there. I'll go get the image later, but yeah. So I just remembered that image that I used to draw, and then I threw in the little baby looking up, and yeah. So
And now there's like 8,000 of you.
Yeah, and then we have like T-shirts and hoodies, zip hoodies, and bags, and it's just amazing to see like
Hashtag Deadly Cookums.
yeah. It's awesome.
And then they let us in because we're not cookum, like I don't have a grandchild yet, but we're learning, and then because we're aunts, great aunts, right?
Right.
We're learning the traditions of how to be
Yes.
how to be cookums. Hi
Yeah.
Jay, I see Jay there too.
So while we're just waiting for everyone to catch up on that, the flower, we can open up the link if anyone wants to read we don't have to go in order. Maybe if anyone wants to just read one of the calls to justice.
We have the whole document, so is there a page?
What page?
Yeah, you have to scroll down a bit to
I think it starts. I'm just pulling it up here. On page 65.
5?
Yeah, 65.
because there's different there's calls to the government, there's calls to the police services. I always think that it's important for the police services to listen to the calls to justice. I'll read the police services 9.1 to get us started. Okay, so police services 9.1. We call upon all police services and justice system actors to acknowledge that the historical and current relationship between Indigenous women, girls, and 2S LGBTQIA people and the justice system has been largely defined by colonialism, racism, bias, discrimination, and fundamental cultural and societal differences. We further call upon all police services and justice system actors to acknowledge that going forward, this relationship must be based on respect and understanding and must be led by in partnership with Indigenous women, girls, and 2S LGBTQIA people. So if anyone wants to read one of their choice.
I'll read one. 11.1 is for educators. It says, we call upon all elementary, secondary, and post-secondary institutions and education authorities to educate and provide awareness to the public about missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and 2S LGBTQIA people, and about the issues and root causes of violence they experience. All curriculum development and programming should be done in partnership with Indigenous peoples, especially Indigenous women, girls, and 2S LGBTQIA people. Such education and awareness must include historical and current truths about the genocide against Indigenous peoples through state laws, policies, and colonial practices. It should include, but not be limited to, teaching Indigenous history, law, and practices from Indigenous perspectives, and the use of Their Voice Will Guide Us with children and youth. I like that one.
Yeah, 11.22 is good. We call upon all educational services providers to develop and implement awareness and education programs for Indigenous children and youth on the issues of grooming for exploitation and sexual exploitation. That's important as well.
I can read 7.1, calls for health and wellness service providers. We call upon governments and health service providers to recognize that Indigenous peoples, First Nation, Inuit, and Métis, including 2S LGBTQIA people, are the experts in caring for and healing themselves, and that health and wellness services are most effective when they are designed and delivered by the Indigenous peoples they are supposed to serve in a manner consistent with and grounded in the practices, worldviews, cultures, languages, and values of the diverse Inuit, Métis, and First Nation communities they serve.
That's so true.
Yeah.
In our through with Anish, I'm it's echo, eh?
Yeah.
No.
I'm with Anish Corporation. I'm the team lead there, and much of the programming that we offer are actually guided by Indian residential school survivors. And of course, that's a direct result with murdered and missing women as well, girls. And this is why, you know, we need family members like Gerri to come and share their experience and how they heal, how they move forward in their healing, and how they gather and find support in that. And so that, and you know, when I seen Gerri posting that you're going to be going to the University of Toronto, and people were saying, are we going to do it here? Are you going to do that here? And to me, I act on things like that. And so, and so I contacted Gerri right away and asked her if she would do it with us, and so that we could bring an opportunity here for our people, because there is healing in working with your hands and, you know, energy and all of that. So thank you for coming and sharing that with us today. So I like that one. I like the one that was just read, 7.1.
Yeah. It's very how fast things can go, even though we're doing it online. I mean, it's like I went from coast to coast because I did Toronto, and then I got an email that they want me to do this for the university in BC. So it's like I'm traveling coast to coast to coast, but not really. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
amazing, you know, and
That's the
spreading
upside.
awareness everywhere. Like, you know, it's good.
Blessings of the
And I'm so
technology.
glad that you've contacted me to do it here, you know, and so that's important, you know. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll read 9.6. We call upon all police services to establish an independent special investigation unit for the investigation of incidents of failure to investigate, police misconduct, and all forms of discriminatory practices and mistreatment of Indigenous people within their police service. The special investigation unit must be transparent in the practice and report at least annually to Indigenous communities, leadership, and people in their jurisdictions. Yeah.
This one, Eva, is my family called out the failures and the lack of, because when he murdered the woman before my sister, the family kept on insisting the police to go and like at least speak to him. They didn't speak to him. They did no investigating because he just said, oh, she went there. Oh, she's not here. If they properly took the family serious, my sister would be alive today. So I told the inquiry, I hold the police accountable for my sister's death because they did not investigate before. They could have prevented my sister's death. So this is very important. Yeah.
Yes, there's many that, you know, are still unsolved. And it's a result of that particular one.
Yes. Okay, so we'll
do we notch our first flower, or are we?
Yeah, we'll continue and then we'll do some more reading. So if everybody is at their flower now, we're gonna take your needle and you're gonna go as close, and you're gonna come out like as close as you can, because we're gonna put on the leaf now. So you can pull your needle right in between the two beads and then just pull it out. And then you're gonna grab
anywhere you want.
Yeah, anywhere you want, where you, because we're gonna put the leaves on now. So wherever you want the leaves sticking out, just go, take your needle in between two of those beads, and then you'll pick up two 2 of the green beads. And then you're gonna just hold it and you're gonna tap down in front of the bead that you put on. So you'll push your bead right up to the flower. You're gonna push it up and then tap down right in front. So it'll be like that.
Can you do the start again?
Oh, mine is too far away.
The start of the
Where you put your needle the first time.
Oh, like to make the leaf?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're going to put your needle
Okay.
in between the 2 beads as close as you can from behind. And then you'll just pull up your thread and then you'll grab 2 of the green. And then you're going to push those beads up against the 2 beads like that.
Okay.
And then you'll tack down the green bead in front of it. So it tacks down. So you'll have it kind of like that. Yeah, you can put your leaves anywhere you want to put it. And then after you've done your leaf, go pick another spot where you want your other flower and then just repeat the process from the first flower. Like your 1 bead, tack down the 1 bead and then pick up 7 and then just repeat that.
How many leaves do we want per flower?
Well, I just put 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, I just put 2.
Oh, I made the big mistake. Any tricks on how to back up, Gerri? You know, when your thread is going around the.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you have that little tail, right?
Okay.
So you can just pull off your needle and then you can pull your thread out. Yeah, that's why I always like to bead with that little thread sticking out, and I don't connect the 2 threads because if you make a mistake, it's harder to go up, and then yeah. So I always like to leave a little tail so I can take my needle off and. But then you'll have to thread it out.
That's the tricky part. Beeping noise.
Okay, so we're just gonna work on the leaves and then you're gonna start your next flower. Just go on to your next flower after you finished your first flower with the leaf. And you just do the same process you did with the flower as the first flower.
Do we make a knot with this first flower and then do another knot, or do
No,
we?
you don't have to knot it. No,
We just go to another.
Just go to another spot where you want your other flower.
Okay.
And then just do the same process you did with the first flower. Okay. The 1 bead and then the 7.
Okay, I need instructions again, Gerri. I've put my 2 beads on for my leaf.
Okay.
And my needle is at the back, look. Like my thread's at the back. Do I just come up and try and tack? Like I think I'm probably in the wrong place, but
Let's see your flower. Just bring it up a little bit. Okay, so you have one leaf on. You're gonna put a leaf on the other side. So you'll do the
oh,
same.
before you tack? Like I didn't tack this one down.
Yeah, you don't have to tack because it's just
Oh, okay.
two. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I gotta come up.
I was looking on the website. I'm just kind of browsing the inquiry website, and I was wondering if you guys wanted to watch just one of the short clips. There's a section of the website that says it's key moments, and there's a video by Albert McLeod, who we've had speak with us doing a session, and he has a short clip that's about Cree and Ojibwe beliefs pre-contact, about we are all beings. It's 2 minutes and 18 seconds,
Are you
but
putting it in the chat?
I'll share
Are
my
you showing it in
screen.
the chat?
Yeah, I'll share my screen quick and we can all watch it together if you'd like.
Oh, okay.
Just a really short clip while you guys are working on your second flower. So I don't know if you want to just mute yourself for a few minutes so there's no interruptions. Let me just do this. All right, can everybody see my screen here? Yeah, okay.
When I was growing up, one of my main sort of idols was my grandmother, and by the time I was born, she was already 65. And she was fluent in the Cree language and never spoke English, and she lived to be 90 years old. And I remember when she would refer to us, she would say, sometimes she would call us she, and I was a little boy. And so I was always curious why she couldn't understand the pronouns that we used at the time in the 1960s. And so similar to the Ojibwe belief system and the role, the place of the child born, is that the human is understood to be an animate being, and that gender is only applied, or sex is only applied in later contexts, and that as society we're to adapt to that reality of the child. So nouns and pronouns as we understand them from a Canadian spoken English are not relevant in this pre-contact culture, whereas we're a very genderized society where we depend on these pronouns to determine our identity and where we fit in today life in Canadian society. So he's described how it was done using adjectives that reference whether that being was biologically male or biologically female. But it wasn't the first connection to that person. So essentially, we're all beings in this room, and some of us might be male and some of us might be female, but some of us might not be. So that's sort of the point of view of the Indigenous people pre-contact.
So I think that one was kind of in reference to the gender-based violence that you see a lot. And I think that it was addressed in the reports a lot. So kind of understanding identity it's very interesting. I remember when Albert was sharing with us, I think the spirit of respect kind of comes down to acknowledging, like you said, that we're all beings, and the violence that we see a lot today, and the gender-based violence, is because I think there's a disconnect and a loss of respect between people, and it's really sad to see. But there's quite a few clips. All of them are very interesting and worth checking out. So I'll share that link as well. You guys can unmute yourself now.
No, I find interesting is when I was traveling with the inquiry, they I had a red dress beading table, and so I got to not always listen in, but I remember one time when we were in Newfoundland, and the chief of police, Danny, what's his last name? I don't know his last name. Anyway, the chief of police came all the way to Newfoundland to make an apology. And I find it ironic because why would it take him, just to go all the way to Newfoundland to do that apology? But yet, from that time period, the violence against Indigenous people still happen today, I find that the apology was for nothing and just probably for show. That's what I believe, but just because of the violence that is portrayed on our Indigenous people, like the Winnipeg police system, and I just wanted to share that because it's still happening, the violence. And
I think anybody could apologize, but unless it's followed by action, then it's kind of, it feels empty. It is empty. So, Audrey's wondering if somebody could show the pattern on the screen. I'll share the file again, just in case. It's pretty far back up in the chat, but there's a photo of the final product if you guys want to pull it up and kind of take a look for reference.
Do you want to share it on the screen too as well?
Sure. 1 second.
When you put it in the chat, Amanda, it wants you to save it somewhere.
Okay.
Before you can view it. So it's probably best if you do it the way Gerri's saying.
Yeah. So can you guys see that?
Yeah, it's so cute.
So there's so you start with the middle bead. That's what Gerri did. And then you do 7 beads around. And then tack between and then your little leaves.
Talking away there. I forgot I was on mute. I'm like, why are they not hearing me?
Oh no!
How do you tack down the 7 again? Sorry.
Okay.
I have.
Yeah, so you're going to you have your 7 beads already?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go down the hole that your thread came up.
Okay. Okay.
And then you're gonna hold the beads around that the middle bead, and then you're gonna come up between. You're gonna take your needle and you're gonna go up in between the 2 beads, and then on the outside, and then you're gonna tack down in the inside on the other side. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Want me to keep the photo up? What was that, Sharon?
What do the 3 flowers represent?
I just 3 flowers. I mean, you can personalize it yourself, but I just chose 3 flowers. There's really no meaning to it, but
I was just thinking maybe it had represented or somehow subconsciously represented your aunt, your sister, and the other lady.
oh, I guess it could. Yeah, you know, things like that happen. Maybe, you know, it makes sense now. I never ever thought of it that way, but yeah, thank you.
Or past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
So,
How's everybody doing?
I really appreciate people who bead.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you get the beads to lie round? Some of mine have tipped over so you can see the hole.
Me too.
Oh, okay. You just kind of push it up with your needle and then just try and tack it down again. Just so they all lay up, not like on the side where the hole is.
Thank you.
And this is probably so trivial for you, eh, Gerri?
What's that?
I said making this little flower is probably like so trivial for you because you just like whip through it all.
Oh. I mean, yeah, like I said, like the more you do it, the you know, just the more easier it gets for you. You know, you get the feel. You need to get that feel, and yeah, if it's your first time, it's going to be awkward. But trust me, the more you do it, the more easier it gets. And yeah, sometimes you could just you know, sometimes you have to look of getting that needle in between. Sometimes it just automatically goes there. Like it's so crazy.
I'll stop sharing for a few minutes. I can bring up the photo again in a bit if anyone needs it.
Yeah, my next little flower is not cooperating. Oh, wait, maybe. There we go.
I think it's cute how all the flowers will look different. I'm looking at the pin and it's each flower is a little bit different. The beads kind of sit a little bit different depending how you tack them. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't have medicines to put inside, what do you usually, what other types of things can you?
Well, from my last classes, people would put maybe like if you have cotton or, you know, maybe like a cotton ball or something just to make it fluffy, you know. Or you could just leave it plain too. So.
Even a little stone, I was thinking.
Oh yeah, that would be
gem.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
gem.
like or like crystal or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be nice too. Wow. Who's doing their second flower?
I'm
Oh,
Pretty much.
nice.
I'm almost done. I'm gonna do the leaf soon.
Nice.
I'm on my third.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
And what colors did everybody get?
Ever deadly.
Huh?
Yellow.
Yellow,
Yeah.
Got pink.
pink.
I got yellow, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Purple.
Nice.
I still have to order my deadly cookum sweatshirt.
Oh, yes. I love mine.
The order form, it's on the site, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's a Google form.
For the
Okay.
2 leaves, you put the 2 green beads and you just tack down, go back through with the bottom one, like how does that?
Yeah,
Or
you tack down in front of
in front of them,
in front of it. Yeah.
in front of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to tack down in between the 2 greens because it's just 2, so they should just sit there nicely.
Gerri, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you know how many, like, is there a website that kind of tracks how many of the calls to actions have been completed or
Oh,
like
yeah.
committed
I don't
to?
even, you know what? I don't even know that. That's a good question. I mean, I know one was the what do you call that alert when a woman goes into birth, that child alert or something?
Yeah, childbirth alerts.
Yeah,
Birth
I don't
alert.
know. Was that ever stopped?
Yeah,
I think
that's
in
stopped
Manitoba it ended, yeah.
in Manitoba, yes.
Yeah,
I
and
know that was one of them. So
But has it really ended?
I know, right?
Because I've heard, because I will share a story here, a little story. One of my friends, her daughter was having a baby, and my girlfriend said till they gave her the okay, they still weren't sure, like, to be able to leave the hospital. Like, everybody was very stressed. So it's said that there's no more birth alert, but I don't know. I I have a funny feeling that people are still stressed about it. You know?
Yeah.
they probably will be for a while. I think it was fairly recent that the birth alerts ended, like last year. I
Yeah,
think it was.
it was last year, I think.
Mhm.
Because I remember reading an article that they, because of COVID, that they're not implementing it yet, but I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Mhm.
You know, they don't understand how that affects the mother's, the milk even coming,
exactly,
you
exactly.
know? Yeah. And it's so important that that baby gets that first,
Yeah.
those first antibodies from the mom.
Yeah. I was a foster parent for 9 years, and I would take in newborns. And there was a mom that would, she would milk, and then I would get it and put it in the freezer and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. The baby ended up going to grandma, so that was good.
Mhm.
I don't foster now because I don't. It was just hard. I think I got tired because 9 years I would take baby after baby and like newborns and stuff, and yeah, it's very tiring. Like it's like you get postpartum even though you're not. It's not
Yeah.
your baby, but you're
Mhm.
feeding the baby, like 3-4 times a night. Oh, and then you have the baby for like 3-4 months. You get attached. And then
Yes.
when you go back, it's very heartening, and it affects not just me but my whole family.
Yeah.
Like, we would cry and they leave, and you worry about them, like, you know, we gave them all the love here, and are they gonna get that wherever they're going? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. It'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it and to be an Indigenous home too, so you know, like, they got everything that they needed, and you know, like, yeah, I mean, I miss being that person where a baby can come to where they're gonna be safe, but it's hard on me. And I contributed 9 years to that, and yeah, I was like, oh, I told my husband I'm so tired now, and he's, oh, that's okay. And then I said, I need to focus, and like, now that I'm gonna be a grandma, so yeah.
Focus on that. Yeah.
Do we put a knot when we're done the 3, or what do we do?
Oh no, when you're done the 3 flowers, you can put a knot. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're done that part. So you want to knot it up good at the back.
Process.
What number needle do you usually use then, Gerri?
I use the size 10, and I like the long needles, like that, the ones that you guys have.
Oh, okay.
Some people like the short ones with a bigger hole, but yeah. How do you guys feel with the longer needles? Good?
I like the longer one.
Getting used to it.
Yeah.
I want the needle that's already threaded, okay? How come nobody's come up with that one yet?
I know. I know, when I was getting, like, the first time I was doing my kits, and then my sister was like, oh, you should thread all the needles so they're ready to go. I'm like, oh, like the first one I did 40 kits, and I'm like, how am I gonna thread 40 needles?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That means I have to lick every one. It's like, no.
Right.
Sanitize your kits before opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is actually something you can buy in any sewing department. Is there just it's a tiny little silver thing with a little wire circle on it, and it's actually a needle threader, and you just stick it through the needle. It's so much easier than trying to get it through that little hole.
Is that what you used?
No, I fought today. But
oh, okay. I'm thinking that it's probably just for clothing needle, but not a beading needle, because the beading needle is so tiny. I don't think, because I don't
think it would fit.
I don't know. I don't think it would fit.
Been tried.
They fit. I'm teaching a beading class for kids, and that's what we are using.
Okay. Is it a size 10 needle? Like, because some beading needles have a bigger hole that you probably could fit in it.
Beading classes for kids, you generally have larger beads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're using seed beads and size 3 cuts and a size 10 beading needle.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good to know.
That's my class.
So how's everybody on the flowers?
Good. I'm in.
Oh, sweet.
I'm gonna read, if you guys don't mind, I'll read a few of the calls for justice for all Canadians. It's the section 15, so they're all fairly short, so I'll read there's 8 of them. The first one is denounce and speak out against violence against Indigenous women, girls, and 2SLGBTQIA people. The second one is decolonize by learning the true history of Canada and Indigenous history in your local area. Learn about and celebrate Indigenous people's history, cultures, pride, and diversity, acknowledging the land you live on and its importance to local Indigenous communities, both historically and today. The third one is develop knowledge and read the final report. Listen to the truths shared and acknowledge the burden of those human and Indigenous rights violations and how they impact Indigenous women, girls, and 2SLGBTQIA people today. The next one is using what you have learned and some of the resources suggested, become a strong ally. Being a strong ally involves more than just tolerance. It means actively working to break down barriers and to support others in every relationship and encounter in which you participate.
I think that speaks to, like, if you see something, you know, long ago, people wouldn't act on it. If you see something going on, then you need to act on it and call somebody, you know, where before they would just say, oh, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
But it is. It's our business to take care of each other. Yeah. We need to look after one another, especially our women.
The fifth one is confront and speak out against racism, sexism, ignorance, homophobia, and transphobia, and teach or encourage others to do the same wherever it occurs, in your home, in your workplace, or in social gatherings. The next is protect, support, and promote the safety of women, girls, and 2SLGBTQIA people by acknowledging and respecting the value of every person in every community, as well as the right of Indigenous women, girls, and 2SLGBTQIA people to generate their own self-determined solutions. The seventh one is create time and space for relationships based on respect as human beings, supporting and embracing differences with kindness, love, and respect. Learn about Indigenous principles of relationship specific to those nations or communities in your local area and work and put them into practice in all of your relationships with Indigenous peoples. And the final one is help hold all governments accountable to act on the calls for justice and to implement them according to the important principles we set out. Oh, Annette, that looks really nice.
My
Oh, Eva's pretty yellow.
Pretty.
My
Love
leaves
it.
are kind of funky, but
Oh, look at Sharon. Nice. Beautiful. Dale.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. Beautiful.
They're all coming along. How are you doing, Paulette?
Good, but yeah, I have to start over again my last flower.
Oh, your last flower?
Yeah, I had knots, and anyway, so I had to cut my thread, and I made a knot, and everything's good. Everything's good. It's all good.
Okay. Anyways, for the ones that have the 3 already, so your you can cut it out now. You can tie your knots, and then you can cut out the red dress, and then after you can trace the next one. You can trace that as well. So
what's he doing? I'm making this red long sleeve garment, and it was really
Like Lynn. Take myself off speaker.
Gerri,
Yeah.
as far as I know, like even up until November 6th and November 8th, the Cora Morgan was still challenging the Manitoba legislature around children. Do you know if that's children's abduction? Like, do you know if that's stopped?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, is that when they were fasting at the fort? I mean, at the ledge.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know.
because we started a moccasin project on Mississaugas of the credit and for the babies, the 40 babies being taken every month. And I think that was in 2017 or 2018. And we were still finding out about babies. So I know that was the challenge, but I don't know what the result of that challenge was.
Yeah, I don't know what happened after.
Because even the Mounties, you probably know this, but they like the Mounties come in and allow the people to come and take the babies, and they actually have the baby seat handcuffed to their wrist.
Oh wow.
And put the baby in the baby seat so that it can't be pulled out of their hands. And the Mounties will surround the mother and anybody she has there to try to stop them. So nobody does anything in the hospital, and well, as you know, the justice system isn't very fair either. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's like if there is ever a young woman in need, it's like if there can be like a circle of women or grandmothers that can come in, intervene, like if that can be like even.
There are grandmothers in Winnipeg who are, if they hear that a baby is about to be abducted from the mother in the hospital, then they have surrounded the mother and they've been able to stop it. And sometimes, like, Cora's been there to say, you cannot take this child. We have documentation, but the documentation doesn't get to the right desk at the right in time, and then the baby's taken.
Mhm.
It's like, and some of them have gone to like, what do you call it? Like Filipino families, and these children 2 years later are speaking Tagalog, and they think that they're Filipino. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories as well when I was a foster parent, and I would go to Christmas parties and summer parties, and yeah, you would see a lot of Asian families, white families, Hutterite families,
Yeah.
but you would barely see like Indigenous families. And there was one worker, we were really close, and she was an Indigenous worker, and yeah, she said that sometimes they would have to teach the child Chinese because they're in a Chinese family, so they can understand, you know what I mean? And you would see sometimes, I don't know if it was from my agency, but I went to the hospital one time with my daughter, and there was a Hutterite family with two Indigenous kids, and they were dressed in their attire, like it was very sad, but it's just very sad.
I thought that wasn't supposed to happen anymore. Like to
they're still challenging it November 2020. So I don't know what's happened since, but that wasn't that long ago.
no.
And I mean, like, to have like, say an Indigenous family wants to apply to be foster parent, they might be drilled more than an Asian family or a white family because they want to cater to those families. but they want to make it harder for an Indigenous family to become a foster parent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I know when I first applied, I applied at one agency. This was back in 2010. I applied for one agency and I submitted all my information, and they came and did a home thing, and I just never heard back from them. And then so I applied from where I'm from, and I did my application. They did home study right away. They took me in as a foster parent. So yeah, I just I don't know what happened with the first agency that I went to. So.
Mhm. It's called colonization. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Cedar Lake Ranch,
Mhm.
the original vision for Cedar Lake Ranch was, I live there now, but that wasn't what it was intended. It was actually supposed to be for mothers to have a place of a secure home, so that if they were being marked as, to take their baby, what's that called again?
Birth alert.
Birth alert. And so we had purchased that because I read a story in the Winnipeg Free Press about these young moms who were in long-term foster care and were having their own children, and birth alerts were being put out on them, and those children were being taken away from them, but yet they were in the system already. So it just proved that the system wasn't doing them any good. So then we had sold the building that we had owned downtown Winnipeg and bought that property for that purpose. And but then, the property sat idle for a year, and we were trying to work with Child and Family Services to get 3 mothers with their children, with house parents that would support them and giving them life skills. We would give them workforce employability skills. Then we would get them into or land-based training as well, and teachings. And then after 12 months, then they would, after the baby's a year old, then they would move into their own home, and hopefully they'd be either in school or working, and working towards a self-sustainable lifestyle. But they couldn't work around the policies. And so that, we had to change how we were to use that land. And so it turned into be a land-based facility where, before COVID, 99% of our workshops were held on the land. Yeah. And so that's what the original intent was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It broke my heart when I read that, because I was a single mom for a period of my life. And I if it wasn't for the support of my mom and dad,
Yeah.
I don't know, and family and my brothers, I have 5 older brothers, and they played an important role to my son at the time. And yeah, so.
Can you imagine the impact if it was allowed? How many lives it would have changed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
they just missed out on an excellent opportunity to help. That's sad.
Because what they forget, that even as an infant, even in the womb, trauma can be experienced.
Yeah.
And so to have that baby not be with mother is traumatizing for them, right? And then, you're talking about children being placed with other cultures. It's just another era of stripping identities and of those little ones. And then they're going to have to struggle with, those identities of who they are and where they belong. And because I worked with 60 scoops, so, and now with Indian residential school survivors and intergenerational and day school. And yeah, it's They don't think about stuff like that, policymakers. Yeah. Anyway.
Who knows, Eva? Maybe one day though.
Yeah, well, I think it's
be
everybody, all the
hopeful.
hard work you guys, everybody's doing, each one of us is doing in whatever way, just keep pushing for change, right?
That's right.
To have the power to create our own.
Well, and I think there's like
policies or
Indigenous
whatever.
law people in like University of Victoria, like they're working on teaching people about Indigenous law and how it pertains to family law here too, like with Canadian laws.
And you know what? I know this is a women's gathering and that, but today I'm doing some writing, and I was researching an article to reference, and so I googled the writer's name, and he's out of U of Vic, and he's just stepping down because of some issues have come up for him. Like, so many of our men still need so much healing, like our families need healing. So I don't know what this person's story is, or, but I was just like, wow, here, there's just so much healing to happen for all of us, eh? Like, it's gotta just keep on, not give up.
Well, as part of, listening to the conversation here, and part of, you have babies being born into homes with mothers who are teenagers who they don't know their cultures either, because our own generations have been through the schools and stuff like that, and we've not learned our own culture to be able to pass that on to our children. So the question remains that how much of our own culture do we have to pass on to our children, even if we were able to bring them up?
Yeah. We're all trying to find our way, get back, or
how much
uncover.
That my mother was able to give to me? Nothing. What I have, I had to go out looking for myself. My mother gave me nothing. She had nothing to give, because that's how effective our government was on killing that part of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just learning my culture as well. I mean, I was raised Catholic, and
too.
Yeah, I mean, I know all there is to know about Catholicism and everything. I know nothing about my culture, so I just put that aside, what I was brought up in, because I was brought up in it, because I was born into it. So, but now that I have a choice, and I have all the knowledge keepers out there to go seek and find myself, and it's the best thing I ever did. I've done 6 years of Sundance. Well, actually 5, but I would have done 6, but of COVID I couldn't do my 6th year. And but just to find myself and be what I want to be, do what I want to do. My mom was not pleased with it, but that's not her life anymore. I mean, it's mine now. So it's just it's been great, and it's been just I found myself. I found my place, and that's all that matters, is finding your place.
My mother was not pleased with it either, but that's part of being programmed by the Catholic Church and the same people who took her language from her, and she was taught not to. I mean, I know my grandmother and my great-grandmother spoke fluent Ojibwe. My mother did not learn it because she was brought up in the Catholic Church and was punished if she were to speak it. So our grandmothers were not allowed to teach their children, and therefore my mother had nothing to teach me. And I'm now going back and I'm learning their language, and the only way we can save it is to try to learn it secondhand rather than your first language. And that's how it is with all of our culture. My mother didn't like it either, but that comes from the brainwashing at an early age that brought her pain. And I don't have that pain, and I'm free now to try to go after that. But I can imagine that she still has that fear deep inside her that says that I shouldn't be doing this because it only brought pain and suffering upon her when as a child in doing it. But we no longer have that that danger and are encouraged to go after it. But yeah, they really did a number on us.
Mhm.
And we're still just trying to scrape what little bit is still left out there, scrape it up and try to save it and try to give it back to the people.
Mhm. I agree, Sandy. I think it's very encouraging that we are feeling more secure now. That there's that fear doesn't exist, or it's not like as prevalent.
Yeah, I
And
don't have the fear that she lived with, so
yeah,
it's I do worry about our young ones though, and what I have to give them. It's bits and pieces.
mhm. I think that youth today are because they're coming in, like they're being born into a time where there's becoming less and less of that fear. They're being born with more and more like courage or like outspokenness. I saw that a lot when I was in university.
Let's
It's almost like they really feel like they have nothing to lose. They already don't, a lot of people don't know the language. They maybe feel disconnected from culture. So, what's the worst that can happen in pursuing it? Nothing. You learn a little bit here and there. And I love going to marches and protests and just hearing how loud and unapologetic youth are being these days. And I'm not a youth anymore. I'm 30 now, but I I dream of being like so outspoken, and like maybe I was before, but I think it's very encouraging that there are people who are being unapologetic and very loud, and it's through like opportunities like this where we can sit and listen to Gerri and other teachings through Anish. I know I'm with Anish, but like even like other knowledge keepers doing other workshops online these days, it's through opportunities like this that we're kind of reclaiming those little bits and pieces that we've lost or that our parents didn't have the courage to give to us. My mom was a residential school survivor, and I know that I grew up with a lot of sadness at not understanding the language, not learning the language or the ceremonies and a lot of that. But at the same time, it's, I've also learned that it was a sacrifice, and there are reasons why my mom didn't have the courage or didn't feel safe to share those things. But me growing up without that fear, now I'm finding ways to learn the little bits of language here and there, and learning how to bead with Gerri and hearing you guys speak, and it's all very encouraging, I think.
Really is.
Mm-hmm.
I know too, when I do this, I remember my Cookham, a great aunt, she was a gifted beader. It's always like when I try to do this, it just all those good feelings come back and memories. And then Joan is just a phenomenal beater too, so I connect with her that way. And I just keep trying, like don't give up. It's like we're all so different, but it's just nice to have those. I know we're connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can call on that energy, and they're with me.
Oh, go ahead, Gerri.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, how you said that you would watch your grandma and stuff. Like, I didn't have that. I never had a grandma figure, and I was about, I don't know, 14, and I bought a beading book. So I learned through a beading book.
And it's genetic kind of memory. It's in
Yes,
our,
that's
it's in
like
our
what the
blood.
poster says. What does the poster say?
Reigniting or reclaiming cultural connection, reigniting blood memory.
Yes, it
Yes.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I can share a story like, oh, I watched my grandma be like,
Mhm.
it's so like lucky to have that.
Yeah.
And I wish I did learn through my grandma. But I mean, I learned through a book. That's okay. I mean,
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah.
It's
So,
wonderful.
I mean, what made me want to pick up a beading book at 14, right? Like no one beaded in my family.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom kept that all
spirit
out
wanted
of
that.
our house. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was the blood memory, right?
Spiritual.
Yeah, very much.
Mhm.
So are we all here now?
Oh, cut out the second one? Okay.
I'm just gonna go grab my pin because I forgot it in the kitchen. So I'll be right back.
Oh, do you want to grab
Oh,
those
bring that ball.
ornaments?
Yeah.
Hey?
The ornaments you mentioned
Oh, the
earlier?
ornament. Yes, I'll bring that too.
What was the website you were talking about, Amanda? About hoodies and stuff like that?
I'll invite you, Dee.
Okay.
Annette, yeah.
Oh, Annette? Oh,
Deadly
sorry.
Cookums.
Jerry
for the day.
drew the article, and I'll invite you on Facebook
Okay.
to the Deadly Cookums, because now, like, you can come in there.
Okay.
And anybody else who wants to join the Deadly Cookums, Jerry can give us directions too.
You have to be a cookum?
No, that's the part. It's a private group.
Okay.
Well, wait, get Jerry. Jerry's kind of helping my sister do it all. But no, my understanding is we don't have to, because we're aunts and great aunts. So in our culture, we're like cookums,
Okay.
you know, and so we're learning too. Like this is part of us. Like I remember we were just always taught to look after one another, you know, and even when we were single moms and doing things we, you know, partying too much and kind of crazy, we helped each other. We didn't phone CFS or, you know, we kept each other's children. I kept people's children in Winnipeg, white people that I was hanging with that were single parents. And I'm like, bring your child here. Your child's safe with me. You can go do what you know, like we took care of each other. So none of our kids ended up in care that way because we were a tight little group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jerry stepped away. People are asking how they can join the Deadly Cookums, and I was saying you're more involved with Joan sort of recruitment and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Just I think you could probably just find it on Facebook and then just request to join. And or
how do you spell it?
Deadly Cookum.
DEADLYKOOKUM, right?
No, OM, not UM.
Okay.
UM.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, I can't thread my needle again.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
the KOOKOMS. Oh yeah, I was gonna go show the logo. I'll be right back.
So we need a longer white thread now, is that?
Yeah, you're gonna start doing the edging next, and you need more thread for that.
Okay.
I'm not finding the Facebook group. Oh, here.
Oh yeah, so this is the logo that I drew.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So this grandma here, I always drew this grandma all my life through, I don't know, like as far as I can remember, I've always drawn. I mean, it's almost like a kiddish drawing because it is a kiddish drawing. It's my inner child drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just find Deadly Cookum. It's KOOMOS. I mean,
KOOKOMS.
yeah, Deadly Cookum.
I can't find the group. Maybe it's not showing up because it's private.
I found it.
Oh,
I'll invite Dee right now. She's on my Facebook feed.
KOOKOMS. And deadly kookums is one word.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
all one
invited
word.
you, Dee.
Oh, maybe that.
KUM.
KOOKOMS.
It's like a flower.
Yes.
Picture? Okay.
A red flower. Yeah.
I'll put the link in the chat. I have it here.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, put it
There
in
you
the.
go.
Boy, you're good.
Yeah, she
I love
is.
young people with their technology.
So
It's-
here is the.
oh, I have one of those.
Do you? Who does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who gave me that? Dee, did you give me that? Somebody gave me that.
Probably Joan.
No, well, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So my sister, she would make the top part. I still have the ones that she made on my tree, like just this part.
Yeah.
And then me and my sister Kim, we just redesigned it. So it's like.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, I bet you Joan got a bunch of your stuff because if your sister's Kim.
Yeah, yeah,
Making
yeah.
Connections, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did come and get she did come to Kim's house one time when we were
Right.
there, and she purchased. Oh, we do like stained glass as well.
Yeah, I have that
Purchased-
hanging in my window.
Oh, the
I
red
have
dress.
stained
one?
glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course, Joan Jack, she gets me everything.
Yeah. And then she got some earrings too, and yeah, it was a nice visit we had with her.
Okay, so
Gave me the earrings, Annette.
huh?
Give me the earrings, Annette.
I don't have a pair of red dress earrings, so I'm gonna win these ones.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm really lucky.
Yeah, put it out there.
I never win, Paul.
We're gonna change that.
Yeah, it's going to change.
I'm an ish groupie, and I haven't won yet.
If I win these, I'll give you
Diva.
them. Claiming them before I win.
Yeah.
How long of a string do we need, Gerri?
I would like to go for like an arm and a half, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, just so you. It's better to have more than enough thread than run out, and then. Yeah.
So are we supposed to have cut out the little dresses at this point? Or?
So you're gonna have two like this.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. And then so this part, the side that you drew, you might have. Do you have like ink or anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want the nice clean side where you're gonna put your pin on. So you guys got your little pin because we're gonna sew it on now.
Okay. So we have to thread our needle first. We need.
Yeah, thread your needles first, but don't put the pin on
Another
this
5
one.
minutes.
Yeah, put the pin on this one. Don't put it on this one.
Okay.
I threaded my needle already. No, I'm just kidding.
I remember when I was a kid, we had relay races, and it's like, it's such like a small town thing. I grew up in Churchill, and we would go and do these relay races. And I remember one of the stations was, you had to thread a needle, and I did the part where I had to thread the needle, and I was so quick. It was the one time in my whole entire life that I threaded a needle within like a second, and it was the perfect time because I think we won the relay race because that's how everybody got stuck. They took forever. It's tricky.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when we put the pin on, you're just gonna pin it every like hole, like 3 stitches on one side and then 3 stitches at the bottom. Just and then the second hole 3 and 3 at the bottom, and then the third hole 3. Just so we have it nice and pinned down where it's not gonna fall off. Hey, Paula, did you get your last flower?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, good, good.
Thank you.
Is everybody else doing the pin now?
Still threading.
Yeah, still trying to put that one in. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're all there, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, okay.
Oh. Dad. Shh.
He's got a happy puppy.
Yeah, no, he's happy when he sees a squirrel. That's why he's growling. Where do we put the pin? More like in the middle of the little.
Yeah, you want the pin in the middle. Yeah.
Like-
Well, pin like at the
Oh, up there. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I am going to step away quickly for a bathroom break. Just so you, I won't be moderating for the next few minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Gerri, is your mom Florence? Who's your mom? I'm just
Florence McPherson.
Yeah. Is that your mom? Your
Oh,
mom's
Florence McPherson was my grandma.
Oh, that was your grandma.
Yeah.
Because I'm here with my mom and she was a Thomas?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My mom was trying to figure out, we were trying to figure out which family you're from because McPherson's is such a big family.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then Lawrence was her husband.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa, yeah.
Okay. Oops.
That's awesome. Did your mom know my grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. My mom's 85.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, look, I got a knot.
Oh,
Naughty girl.
Ay. I think I made my thread too long. And then so it. Now what?
do you have enough thread to cut it, or would it
Let's see.
be?
Oh yeah, where it's at is probably at a good place because it's not very long. I could probably make a knot there and not lose a
Too much
whole lot of
thread?
my thread. Yeah.
I mean, if it's too long, yeah, just maybe like definitely you want that arm because you want to. But if an arm and a half is too long, then
Yeah, I'll just tie a knot. I'll make a knot there.
Just can't get this threaded now.
Gerri, does it matter that my little pin isn't quite perfectly in the middle? Does it matter?
oh, it doesn't matter because
Okay.
I mean, when you pin it on, you're gonna make sure you pin it nice and straight. And
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, your pin could be this way if you want it.
Right.
That way, yeah. So
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Do you find you have a problem with the thread being twisting like that all the time and gets into knots? Then make it a little shorter, and they also use wax on the thread to help. Two things that it'll strengthen this thread, as well as the beads going through it are glass, so sometimes it'll also help protect that thread from the beads, as well as keep it from try to help keep it from tangling. That's why people use the beeswax on the thread.
I think I did more than an arm and a half length. I gave it a little bit too much extra thread. I got it. It worked out though.
Okay, that's good.
All good.
Just can't thread it. I'll have to just watch for a while.
Because we're recording this, so
Yeah,
you can always go back to the website, the Anish website, and view it later.
Yeah.
Have a glue stick. You can put a little bit of glue on the edge of like on the tips of your fingers, and then use that to smooth out the thread too.
Ah, good idea.
That's what I resorted to because I was getting so frustrated.
Oh.
And it's funny, then all of a sudden it'll work, eh? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to wet the tip of that needle hole.
Yeah.
And then.
Okay. So now do I tie a knot, Gerri?
No.
No.
You tie a knot, but you don't have to cut it off because you want when you put it together, like you have it here, right? And then when you put the dresses together, your thread is going to be in between.
Okay.
And
good.
then it's ready.
I'm glad I didn't cut it.
Yeah, and then it's ready. Then we're ready to start edging.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. All right, I will wait.
So when we're ready to place our dresses side by side with our pin, we can start edging. So just let me know when everybody's there.
Okay.
And then we can get your red beads ready.
Yeah, that is nice material. Okay.
I'm so excited to see everybody's red dress. Okay, so how is everybody doing with your pin? Okay.
wow, I got it. Yay.
Yay!
but I switched to a shorter needle for now.
Okay, that's good.
So do we just do the same, like short piece on?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm way behind the
How do we start the little
pin.
the red beads?
Okay, so are we all ready to start to edge now?
I haven't done the pin.
Oh.
If others have, they can go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll just come back to, just, okay. So we're going to, we have the thread sticking up from the top in between there. And you're gonna hold it together like that, and you're gonna grab one red bead. Okay. So I like to hold it with the flower part. And then you're gonna go from the back to the front. Okay, so you have your top, your one bead, and you're gonna go back to front. And you're gonna pull it up. And then you're gonna go up the red bead, not like that. And then that red bead will sit right on top like that.
So is the bead, do you see the hole of the bead on top?
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna sit flat on top, like.
Okay.
Oh.
Kind of like, see, they'll all fit nicely on top like that.
Oh.
They'll be flat.
I can show the photo again in a second here.
Show us how you start, Gerri, again. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So you're going to take your one bead.
Right. Yes.
And then you're gonna go. So you're gonna go from the back to the front. If you can see. And you're gonna pull your thread up. And then your bead is gonna sit. And then you're just gonna go up. Hold on. You'll go up into that bead.
Okay.
And then just pull it up. And then it'll sit beside like that.
So you're seeing the white thread, or?
Yeah, you're gonna see the white thread. And at the end, what I do after you're done edging, I take a red marker and I color all the white. So you don't see the red, white.
Yeah.
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 I take the red marker and I color all the white threads so you don't see the white.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And it, see this one? Yeah, this one.
I didn't flip my little dress when I did the beading, so you're gonna see my markings of the pen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how thick is the red? How thick is the pen mark?
It's not that bad, and you know,
I mean, like
I've learned
once. Yeah. Well, once you start threading,
yeah.
I mean, you still probably can take your red. It's all going to blend in anyway because it's felt, so it's gonna kind of like sink and squish together. Yeah. So we're gonna take that one bead again, and you're gonna come up next to. You want them you don't want them gappy, so you want to make sure that they're a good, you know, like you don't want them too far apart, you know. So you just take that. It's always one bead at a time. Then you're just gonna go up through the bead and then and pull nice and tight so they're all sitting.
So before you capture your second bead, you put your needle through the material, right?
Yeah, you're gonna go front to back. Yeah, so you put your bead on and then you go front to back and then you go up the bead so it sits nice like that.
Yikes.
Yeah, and then you want the hole that sticking up at the top. And then you just want them sitting nicely beside each other.
And if we're just sewing the brooch part on the back, do we knot our thread, that one long thread?
No, you don't have to knot it because we're just gonna continue using that thread. You're gonna put the two parts together,
Oh,
like
okay.
this in the back and then the flowers in the front. Then you'll have your thread sticking out at the top.
I'll try and sew this brooch.
Excuse me, I finally have the pin sewed on, so can you show me how you do the beads?
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna put your two patterns together, the flower part in the front and then the pin at the back together. And then your thread should be sticking up from the top. And then you're gonna take one red bead and and then you're gonna go from the front to the back.
I'm just getting my bead out.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got my bead and I go from front to back.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna go front to back and you're gonna pull your thread up. And then you're gonna, your red bead is gonna sit like that and then you're gonna go up the bead.
I lost my bead. So I found my bead again.
I gotta
So,
stop.
so it's on top.
Yeah, okay, so you have your bead sitting at the top.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go, so your bead should be like that, and you're gonna go up the top of the bead like this,
Okay.
and then pull it all the way through, and then it should sit on top flat like that.
Okay. And where do I put the thread next?
What do you mean?
So now that I've got that one on, I get another bead and put it on?
Yeah, you're gonna pick up another bead once you get that one on, and it's sitting nice and flat. Then you're gonna come up right next to it, like you're not right up next to it, because you want room for the next bead. And then you're gonna go through the front to back again, and then up the bead. Yeah, so you don't want them to be too gappy or too close. The more you go, the more you'll know where to place your bead for the next bead. And then they should be sitting all together like that.
Would not believe the mess I've created trying to sew this brooch on. Oh my Lord.
We have to stay after class in it.
Oh God, yeah.
After hours.
Yeah.
Feeding session after hours.
Yeah.
It's funny, my husband comes home at 3 o'clock, my husband and my son from work, and I say, I'm doing my workshop in the living room, and they didn't come home yet. I guess they're too scared they'll be seen or something. I don't even know where they are. Sitting outside in the van, I guess, till 4. I told him, I say, I'm set up in the living room. I said, if you come in through the living room door, I said, they can't see you. You guys can go upstairs. You guys sit in the kitchen. It's like, it's okay. But yeah, they didn't even come home yet. Yeah, the edging is what's going to take the longest. And yeah, it's just patience, one bead at a time. Yeah, and like I said, once you get to probably around this part, like once you go around and you have like a little opening here, that's where you can fill it up with your medicine, or like if you want to use, nice stones or crystals or cotton balls, or just fill it up with what you like, or you can just leave it flat too if you want. Did you get your pin on?
You should see the mess. Look at my mess.
Oh
no. But I don't want to, like, I'm trying to save my thread, so I'll just wait and calm down and
right, yeah. It's a tangled, what a tangled mess.
Yeah. Yet there's no big knots, so there's lots of hope there.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
You know?
I swear sometimes I've knotted so bad where I sit, I don't know, I just sit there and I pick at it and I pick at the tiniest little knot. Yeah. And I surprise myself that I get it out, and I'm so happy, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like the knot detangler pro. It's a lot of patience.
Mhm. Biggest thing is don't give up.
Gerri, did your sister have any kids?
Oh, yes, she had 2 daughters.
Mm. And where are they now?
One lives in the border of Ontario, and another in Selkirk.
Oh,
Close to me.
so you get to see her then.
Yeah, she would have been a grandma too.
Oh. How old was she?
When she passed?
Yeah, she's murdered.
40. Let's see. 41.
She's 21.
41.
41.
Yes.
Wow.
41. 41.
There, I did it. I got my thread entangled. Oh,
40. Oh, I can't remember. Let me see.
So back to the pin part, Gerri, now that I'm untangled.
Oh,
Do you
got
just start
untangled?
sewing? Yeah. Do you just go up through the back and start sewing your brooch on in and out, like the brooch part in and out till it's sturdy?
Yes. Well, yeah, because you're gonna sew the whole part,
Right.
like you're gonna go in the hole and back up the hole.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Till it's sturdy, eh, on the back.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna pin down each hole on each side.
Okay.
Yeah. So like 1, 2, 3 here, and then at the bottom too.
Okay.
So let's see.
Ouch. Sorry.
Somebody got pinned.
Someone got poked.
Yeah. Oh, 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 not pinned.
It was bound to happen.
Well, this is
Do a
definitely
couple
going to
more
be an
weeks?
evening project.
Hey.
I said, this is definitely going to be an evening project to finish up. But I am going to finish it today.
Shall we do
I don't know how to be able to get through by 4 o'clock.
Oh, man.
Oops.
Yeah, I think I'm.
Thinking about when I was in school way back, and when I was learning how to knit, I'm left-handed, and the teacher couldn't teach me because she was right-handed. And I had to make slippers, I think it was. And my one mom, she had to knit the slippers, otherwise I was going to get a fail. So each time I go to try and do crafts, say like the scissors are really maddening for me to try and cut, and especially like design and stuff like that, and tape measures are strictly for right-handed people and that, and but at least the needle, not left-handed or right-handed, shouldn't be having this trouble. I don't know if it's gotten better with the classes to be able to adjust for right-handed people or not, or left-handed people.
It's still a right-handed world, I think.
Yeah.
But the kids, I don't think they get, it's not like in the old days where you had to, they were punished, no?
Yeah. Yeah. There used to be a lefty store in Osborne Village, and I really like that. Even like spatulas and that, like if they're angled, have a hard time with those.
Oh.
Try to flip the food and it ends up on the wall. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Wow.
So if no one, I mean, if there's someone that doesn't have me on Facebook, can find me on Facebook, add me as friend, show me your red dresses, because I would love to see.
Yes, we want to post them on our page too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do. So tag us. Tag us and tag Gerri.
Yeah.
My friend made my earrings just in time. I got them in the mail.
So lovely.
Yeah. And like, it's just, the timing was perfect. I didn't know she was sending them to me, but yeah.
Also, was it a surprise?
It was a surprise. Yeah. I didn't know that. Lots of people during COVID started crafting and stuff like that. Yeah, I started making little noses skirts.
I know, that's adorable.
I love making them. Honestly, they're the best thing for my well-being during COVID.
I need to find someone that can make a moss bag for me, for my grandbaby.
Who made mine? Roxanne Shuttleworth.
Oh, okay.
Made mine. Yeah. It's beautiful.
How's everybody doing on their edging?
I'm definitely going to have to use a red marker, but can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You're a good teacher.
Oh, thanks. I don't even know, like, was there ever Zoom before COVID? I've never ever heard of Zoom before COVID.
It existed, but I think the use of it has increased like a million times.
Oh yeah.
I had an account for years, but I hardly ever used it.
Oh yeah.
I think their stocks skyrocketed when COVID started.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've never heard of Zoom before.
Just amazing patience it takes.
For sure.
Try again.
Amanda, are you making one? No, you're not making a pin?
No, I forgot to set aside a kit for me. There's an extra one here, but I think it's Kathy's.
You
I'm gonna out the kits for the second session. If there's an extra one, I'll make my pin in the next session.
So question here, does Anish, did the funding do this come from Anish, or how did, because it was free?
Yes, yeah, we bought the kits from Gerri.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're on, where's your space located?
Our head office is on in Headingley, Swan Lake First Nation Urban Reserve. Yeah. And then our land-based facility is out in Anola.
Oh,
I
know what happened.
I keep going over the wrong, like, you know, when I'm trying to do the brooch, I keep putting it the wrong. Tell you, sewing is just not my thing. And that's okay.
It's definitely patience building.
Ready to get the crazy glue out.
The glue gun
for the brooch.
Oh, glue gun will work.
big magnum glue gun.
Yeah.
In case of an emergency.
These could be almost like prayer beads, eh? Every time you take one, you can say a little. Say a little prayer. Really?
That's what I know they do in the Clinton family married into, eh? When they make their big vest. Every bead, every button.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometime I'll bead and then I hear the little voice out.
Oh yeah.
Or they get sad, drop them on the floor. They're all sleeping.
Getting there.
Can you hold up the little pen again? I was just wanting to see how you did under the arms.
Oh yeah, the arm is the same. It's just a little maneuvering. Just, you know, it's just eyeing it.
So do you have one right up in the?
At the corner?
Yeah.
I go up as close as I can.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Yours are so even.
Oh, yeah.
She's a pro.
Oh, no kidding.
You guys will be too. Just keep beating. Keep on beating. Yeah, anyways, before we go, like just keep on reading the link that was provided and just go over the cultural justice, or even if you want to listen in on people's truths from coast to coast. Yeah, that's what I always encourage at all my workshops is definitely just to watch, read. It's out there for all of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you, Gerri, for taking the time to teach us how to do this. I've definitely learned a new skill today.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
And but also the importance of keeping that document alive.
Mhm.
You know, the calls to action, that's really what we want to do is you want to, like you said, not let it sit on a shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
And this together keeps it alive, eh? Us all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The connection is so good.
I mean,
Yeah,
in
'cause
a way, we're all connected to it. You know, we all have a connection to something.
Yeah.
Do you live in Texas now, Gerri?
I live in Winnipeg. I was born and raised in Winnipeg. I never lived in Pegwas.
Okay. Did you go to the powwows at all?
Not really.
No.
No. Yeah, I didn't have I did used to go there when my father was alive, but he passed from cancer quite a while ago, and we were just reconnecting with him before he got sick. And but in the end, you know, it's just that unconditional love and everything. And we bonded before he passed, and I think he was the happiest dad ever. Or I think that's what I always wanted. And I think he passed away so peacefully. He was surrounded by light and all, like, just women. He was all women around him. He just had daughters. Stepdaughter, his wife. So left was left for him. I think he was at peace. He was happy. And so visit him in Pegwas. I haven't been out there ever since that he's happened. There's really no one to visit. I'm not really close to aunts or anything.
Mhm.
But I mean, my sister, we buried her out. So it's kind of sad, you know, that we go visit. It's, you know, it's to visit my dad at his gravesite, our sister's gravesite. So
It's a real echo.
yeah, it is.
Way, Amanda, you can.
No, I think it's just because we're all got our mics off or on, I think.
How's that? Oh, still an echo.
They have, it's a really good big powwow that you guys do have. I've gone a few times.
Mm-hmm.
You see.
But the biggest in the world is Manitowoc.
Yeah, I've never been to that. Oh, no. Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, you should go. It's pretty amazing.
Anybody been to that one in Albuquerque?
Nope, I would
No.
love to go out.
The internet.
Eva, I think it might.
Well, I've got my throat done, ladies. Yay!
Test. Oh, Eva, I think it was your mic or your speaker. I muted you and there's no more echo.
Me?
Yeah, I think it was Eva.
Eva.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can unmute yourself when you want to say something.
I turned my volume down. That helped. Good.
Yeah, I think it's okay now.
You're doing great helping us, Amanda.
Thanks. I really do love, you know, sitting in. I've sat in every single one of our teachings so far.
Wow.
And we've had quite a few. We've got a lot more scheduled, and it's fun for me. I feel like I always learn something important, or I hear something that Creator wants me to hear, and I don't think that like teachings and lessons that I'm not thinking about, but then, you know, a knowledge keeper will share a little tidbit of information. It just sticks with me for like a week or longer. Well, maybe I'll share with you, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here, our upcoming events. There was an email that was sent out with registration links, but I'll just go over our little calendar here, my calendar. So today's our session. Tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, our knowledge keeper, a niche knowledge keeper, Sharon Ward, she's from Brokenhead. She's going to be sharing on the Wounded Warrior teaching, which I think has to do with the stages of life. And then on Friday, we have Wally Chartrand coming back. He did a teaching with us a few weeks ago, but he'll be back and he's doing a turtle teaching. So that's also kind of a circle of life, stages of life type of teaching. And then on Saturday, Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we have a loss and emotional wellness workshop called Every Emotion Has Wisdom. So we have a co-facilitators, Marianne Bainton, I think that's how you say her last name, Marianne, and our own Kathy Pompana and her husband, Ernie Daniels Jr. They're going to be talking about the wisdom of emotions from an Indigenous perspective. Marianne's non-Indigenous, but Kathy and Ernie are going to be there to offer those Indigenous perspectives and insights. So I'm looking forward to that one. Next week on Tuesday, we have an inner child session with Sharon Ward, kind of understanding, you know, the life cycles and how to care for yourself. And then Thursday, we have a sweat lodge teaching with Wally Chartrand again. And then on Friday, March 12th, we have Ken Biggity with Biggity and Biggity Puppets. He's a funny guy. He's coming to share with us.
What day is that one?
That one's on Friday, March 12th. He's hilarious. I don't know if any of you have seen any like video clips. I'm sure it's on YouTube, but he has these real Nietzsche puppets that he takes and he does little comedy bits.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Yeah, so that one's exciting. We haven't created the events yet for the next few weeks, but we have other teachings, and the TP teachings, Inuit history and storytelling, the Sundance teaching, evolving traditions, hand drum songs.
So many good ones.
Sacred life teachings. And then the second red pin session will be on the 26th. So if you guys want to come again, there's still tickets. You can register for the next session and just choose the ticket with no kit, and then you'll get the link for that one when you do that. But yeah, we have lots coming up, and also a reminder to fill out the feedback form to be entered in to win
the earrings.
The earrings. I'll share them with you guys again.
Are the workshops recorded, or do you have to attend?
They're all recorded. We had an issue with our pandemic medicine one just because it had to do with COVID, so there was issues in posting it, but hopefully we'll bring them back to do another session with us. I think that one was a popular one. But yeah, all of our other ones are recorded, and it usually takes about a day or two for them to be posted online. But when they are posted, I will share the link again. There's our website has a video library page where we post all the videos. So you can even go back and look at, you know, the recordings of sessions we've had since, I think, January.
Yeah.
There's quite a few in there. If we have our own.
Can you just quick, Gerri, before we lose you, can you take us through the first bead? Take us through one.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So your thread will be sticking out from the top.
Okay.
And then you're gonna grab one red bead.
Okay.
And then I like to work from the flower part in front of me like this, because then you're gonna go front to back.
Just somewhere on my, like, say, start on the sleeve.
Yeah. Well, is your thread sticking up from the top? Or are there where, I mean, I start from the top of the.
Like this?
Yes. Yeah. So you're gonna take your needle. You're gonna go front to back.
Okay.
And then
right through the two?
Huh?
Right through the two pieces of.
Yes, both. Yeah. Make sure you go through the back piece and the front piece, and then you're gonna go up that bead like that. You're gonna go up the bead, and then you'll pull your thread. And then when you pull your thread, your bead should be sitting straight up with the hole pointing at the top. And then you're going to grab another red one and do the same thing all around.
Gerri?
Yeah.
Look at mine. So this is the back of mine. Look how nice that looks.
Right?
Okay. But look at this. How come I have the bead sitting on the back? Because I'm taking it through the back.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Your contract.
Maybe I'm not doing this part right. Like, yeah.
because it should be both the front
And the
the
back.
back should be the same.
Yeah.
Let's see yours again, Eva.
Yeah, let's see.
See, there's the back.
I'm just gonna pin, sorry, I'm gonna pin so I can see it bigger.
That's the back.
Mhm.
And then this is the front where,
Good.
so you can't, see how the beads are nicer on this side?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean,
But maybe once I color in the white, because I
Yeah.
see so much of the thread.
Yeah, once you color in with the Sharpie, it should cover everything up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, because it should be the same, you know?
Do another one there for me, Gerri. How you do it up close. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Okay, so you go from the front to the back.
Yeah, with a bead on, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have.
Yeah, I already have a bead on your string.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Wait,
what
do
I
I
do.
have? Oh, hold on, I need to grab a bead first. Okay, yeah, so you're gonna take your. You're gonna go from the front to the back, and then you're gonna pull your bead all the way down to the.
From the front to the back. I was doing back to the front. That's what I was doing.
And then you
Better
go
write
up,
front to the back.
like you go
Yeah.
up your bead. I mean, even if you did go
Yeah, it
front
should
to
sit on
back, I
top,
mean,
right?
even if you do go front to back, it should be the same way.
Yeah, it should sit on top, eh?
Yeah, I mean, like here, I'll go through the front to the back.
Okay.
And, oh, I didn't grab a bead. Yeah, see, that's the thing with Zoom is we can't, like, up close and personal, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like I would definitely catch someone who is not putting it in the right place, or
Yeah.
but it's harder to see online.
It definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, because even if I go front to back,
It's still,
it's still gonna have the same.
yeah.
Maybe I'll pull up I'll share my screen and I'll show you guys an up close of the photo again.
Hey,
Take a look at the stitching. Okay. Oops.
well, we're gonna have to let Gerri go.
Oh, where's my
No.
So her husband can come in.
Oh, they're in now.
Are they?
Yeah, they're just extra quiet.
Can you guys see how the beads are kind of stitched?
Wait, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there should just be like little tiny stitches.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll make the best of it.
Yeah. Anyways, just keep practicing that, and then just color all those white pieces with red felt. I mean, red marker, and
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's your first one, so yeah, don't you know,
Yeah.
just keep practicing and.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Gerri.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks,
It
Vivian.
was
Thanks,
such a
Eva.
pleasure.
Thank you everybody for joining us today. Be sure to check our website for today's recording if you want to go back to go over the directions again. Otherwise, we'll see you at our next session, whichever that may be. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
So wonderful.
Fun.
Thanks again, Gerri.
Yeah, thank you.